Well, I'm just gonna be making this video, talking about, the 2026 is the new 2016. And I should record like a month ago, something like that. I already cannot believe we're already in the month of this year. This year, time just has gone so freaking fast. And yeah, the minute we just entered 2026, like that's when a whole new era just started, right? Things has been totally different. So what? This is coincidentally, very funny, and it represent me thinking that I'm the most special person I ever been, right? Yeah, ever since we entered 2016, my life has drastically changed, right? Now, because we're in 2026, I have to think of everything what happened in 2016, right? You know, there's a lots of good things and bad things happen, but in my opinion, I really hate that year so a lot. And I got a feeling, like this won't be surprised if 2026 is gonna be another hell year. It's probably gonna be far worse than 2025. Yeah, 2016 was like a new era, where it marks like 2015 is gone for good, right? Ever since 2015, it's gone, then my life quality has just dropped. Like it's dropped so fast I couldn't even unbelievably, right? 2016 was the mark of social media, celebrity death, and now mark of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is funny, like still running the country, right? He won the 2016 election and the 2024 election, so yeah, we still have Donald Trump in this era, right? So 2016, if you don't know what's going on with my life, this is why it has been the biggest change, 2016, because I turned 18 that year. Once you turn 18, your life is going to be different no matter what. I don't care what you say, man. 18, you're an illegal adult, right? And don't expect your life to be the same as, you were 17, right? Obviously, when you're 18, you graduate high school, you're going to be adult. You're going to have to act like an adult very soon, right? Some of you, may not change that much, but for most of us, I'd rather say it's going to be changed a lot, right? 2016 is the year I graduated from high school. Can't you believe that, man? A full decade just passed by like it's nothing. Oh my God, man. Right? Yeah, I remember that 2015 was just a berserk year, man. And yeah, now 2015's been gone for 10 years already, man. 10 plus years. I know I was a really crazy senior, in high school, right? If we go back to 2016, like a snap of the finger, like, yeah, nothing has changed me physically, but I definitely look a lot thinner, and I'm definitely running a lot faster too, more likely to rain. But 2016, I was a bit chubbier, and I was a senior in high school, right? Technically, that was my very last year of my high school, and yeah, I feel like, I want to get out that school or something, because I was just causing so much trouble back in 2016, right? You got a feeling again, like hopefully I matured from 2016, right? And I don't think I have not, right? Yeah, that's where I started to get a lot of attention, right? This is why I act stupidly crazy, Obviously, because, I get stressed out, so easy. I get very angry really easily, and also because, I just overreacting, right? I say that most of my personality has not changed since 2016, right? Those are just the facts, right? So yeah, being in 2026 marks my 10-year out of high school. I turned 10, marking like I'm officially in a real adult for 10 years already, man. Turning 28. So yeah, it's just one of the things, out of my teenage years, man. The atmosphere feels like 2016 vibe has come back, right? I remember 2016 was, the really crazy year where they released like the biggest game like Pokemon Go, I'm going to like college, there's fidget spinner, and there's a lots of, bottle flipping. There was a lots of me that's also released in 2016, maybe that's gonna get repetitive this year because it's a mark year, it's a mark of a 10-year anniversary, man. 10 years, right? Yeah, just a lots of things happened in 2016, right? That could repeat again this year, and people speculate that. So most of it is a fact, and most of it I'm saying is opinion, right? Yeah, I wasn't really described as a psychopath. If people, who saw me in 2016 just watch this video, coincidentally, I'm back again, right? You could say, how I was in 2016, comment below like if I was this and that, right? But yeah, it's just so scripted, man. This meme, people came up, a lot of people just think of as me and just came with me, but this does not surprise me. This came up because you wait a certain amount of period of time, it's gonna be repetitive again, right? It is so scripted. Yeah, every 10 years, the same thing happened again. Like the 2010 is a new 2020. 2010 was a big change of my life as well. So 2011 to 2021, also 10 year. The 2020 is a new 2010. The 2021 is a new 2011, and 2022 is the new 2012. Everything is like that again and again. It's just cycle. That's why I hate living this world. That's why I want to get out this planet, because it's just, same thing happened again and again, but now you're just a lot more intense and a lot more worse. In 2023, it's the new 2013, the 2024, new 2014. 2015 is just exactly a 2025. It's just exactly. And then we go to one more year, 2026, new 2016. The new 2027 is the new 2017, and then the 2028 will act like 2018, and then oh boy, once we get to 2029, it's gonna go a whole nother level. 2019 vibe backs again, and then 2030. Yeah, this is where real things gets interesting. You got to 2030, and then don't be expected if it's a new restraint again, man. You know what I talk about, 2020, right? People say like, oh, 2030 is gonna be the new 2020s. Yeah, get that right, right? Same repetitive year, but who knows? But I trying to remember like what happened in 2016, right? So yeah, just get into that, So 2016, this is where, like, yeah, I've been out of college already. Obviously, I'm not in college anymore, I'm still trying to, find a job and all that stuff, right? Got out, in 2020, right? I try to remember, like, what exactly happened in 2016, right? So yeah, here we go again, man. 2016 is arrive again, right? We gotta bring back 2016, man. I think most people opinion, they might think 2016 is better or just as equally, as like 2026, right? Oh boy, if you predict exactly what's gonna happen in 2026, then 2016 is the new 2026. Isn't that ironic and funny, right? Yeah. I was a high schooler, man, right? Where were you in 2016, right? Where were you? I know that some of us were not born in 2016 and we're already YouTube. I see kids are logging into YouTube already, right? YouTube know this, right? Well, if you were born in like late 2016 or born in 2017 or after that, then you can just comment below, right? But yeah, assuming that you're born in 2017 or later than that, then you're just not going to feel the 2016 vibes, unfortunately. That's just the way it goes. If you were a baby in 2016 or you were a little kid, you're not going to remember 2016 that much. But yeah, if you were born like before, let's say you were born like few years, or born like definitely before 2010s, then you're going to know what 2016 is, right? So Or you can just go on YouTube, Google it, like you forgot what's gonna happen in 2016, you can just Google and just replay it, right? Re-video it. I'll be posting, my old self in 2016, right? How did I change, right? So yeah, hear me, real grown man, now, I'm going to work, right? That time I was getting ready for college, right? And because of my behavior back in 2016, like, I was kind of worried, like I was not gonna get into college. I'm not gonna lie to you, man, but there was some concern about me, in 2016. But some people say I got better, some say I stayed the same. It's just an opinion, right? So yeah, I know that a lot of people don't know me back in 2016, especially new subscribers or people that never seen my face before, right? But yeah, but man, that's another reason why I act crazy, not to get a lot of attention, but I also, do it for the sake of, fun, right? Because obviously I just sometimes get bored, so I just like to do some crazy, stupid stuff, right? Oh man, I remember I'll try to see, if I can rejoin, my 2016, classmates, right? Yeah, 16 is just like a really big number, right? It seems like a very big vibes, right? And I just lots of things that I cannot explain that did happen, right? Lots of events, boy. But yeah, there was a big, but there's only difference. Obviously I go to work. Obviously I can, drive a car now. I become like a little bit more independent, but hey, I still can do a lot more things in life, right? So yeah, just gotta, just keep doing what I'm doing, and yeah, just internet me. I mean, 2016 was an era, where I used Snapchat a lot, right? People, enter, like they have like TikToks and all that stuff, right? But now, I don't go into those social media anymore because it's just a waste of my time. It's such a distraction, and all I do is just post stupid stuff, that people that don't want to see it, and this is why I get so many unfollowers. This is why people, get upset with me, right? In the past, so yeah, I post like a whole bunch of crazy stuff, man. And some of them are just, plain old nonsense, right? So yeah, I remember, 2016 was a big year, especially, when I watched a lot of basketball back then, I remember, Kevin Durant, you joined the Golden State Warrior. The NBA just completely got destroyed. Oh, man. Right? Remember, Kobe retiring that year, and then coincidentally Kobe just died in a crash, a few years later. Thank God did not happen that year, and oh man. But yeah, the difference is that, we have a dog now, have Nolan the dog, right? We did not have that in 2016, right? I was still at the, old house, not at this new place, right? That's the only difference right there, right? Let me think of something else, something different, know how to drive, went to the car, yeah, so things has been changing a lot since 2016. Honestly, right? Yeah, and honestly, I don't look that much older than I was in 2016, but maybe I do look a lot older now, for some weird reasons, right? So just a recap right there. So yeah, that's all this, the change, right? Oh man. So maybe should I just go visit college again? Oh man. Yeah, I remember, first time, I ever in college, first time, I ever, deal with professor, right? So it's just like, for me, I feel like something, brand new is gonna be coming, in 2026. So yeah, just like me, got out of high school, feel like a big graduation, then, just walking, into, a very new life, that I have never seen before, right? I remember I did make a last video of myself, being a teenager that year, right? And then, just suddenly just going to be an adulthood, right? And then, wasn't used to taking adult responsibility, but when I get a little bit older, then, I kind of get used to it. So, yeah, 2016 marks the year, where I'm no longer a minor, right? Where I'm no longer, gonna be a kid. Where I no longer do this, no longer do that, and then, I'm officially, have adult's right and adult responsibility, right? Yeah. But yeah, obviously 18, you could do a lot more things legally, that you won't get in trouble for versus when you're just not 18 yet. So yeah, obviously, when you're 21, um that's when you can start, doing a lot more legal stuff, right? You can start, drinking alcohols and all stuff. But I'm thinking about, like 2029, I might, go, take, a shot again, right? Just to mark, the 10-year anniversary of me turning 21 years old in 2019. Don't know what else to say, but if you like this video, or comment what you just think about this, right? So yeah, obviously the only things that's not gonna be repeating in in 2026, that the animal year, right? There's gonna be an Olympic year, but it's a winter Olympic. It's not a summer Olympic. Olympic happens every 4 years, so you add 10 years, then you're gonna be like, for the 4-year period is not divisible by 4. That's what I meant, mathematically, because 10 divided by 4, you do not. It's gonna be ended in decimal, not a full whole year, right? Yeah. And another thing why 2016 was kind of a special year is not just that, but that's when I recorded my last sunset of the year is 2015, right? I remember I just like walk up the hill, on the hill, and just record the entire Bay Area, right? I knew like, yeah, that's where things are gonna come a big hit, right? And now that video I restore as a memory, now it's officially 10 years already. My YouTube channel is not 10 years old. It's honest. Well, it's 12 years old. Well, it's 11, but gonna be 12 this year, right? Because I created in 2014, and then my first video recorded was in 2014, the end of 2014, and then I posted in February of 2015. So yeah, it's still, in the 10-year period, but then it's gonna turn 11. So what can I say? Much, right? So yeah. Well, obviously, I'm planning not to study in college, but maybe I'm going to visit college to mark like the 10-year start of my college, right? So what college I go to, it's in Fremont, in California, Fremont specifically, and it's called Ohlone College, right? Yeah. I mean, not much update. Ended it off right here.